Welcome back to another inspiring chapter. This time we explore the life of a dynamic entrepreneur, sharp investor, and visionary businessman. Let's step right into his world. Some stories begin in Silicon Valley. Some begin with venture funding or big-name universities. But then there are stories that begin far away, where access to the internet itself is a rarity, and yet from such a place emerges someone who would later transform the way the web is built and experienced. This is the story of Guillermo Rauch. But before he became the founder of Vercel, the creator of Next.js, and a champion of open source innovation, his journey started in a quiet Argentinian town with a single computer, and in the spark that came alive the very first time Windows 95 booted. Guillermo Rauch was born and raised in Argentina, far removed from the global technology hubs. In a small town outside Buenos Aires, computers and internet access were scarce. But scarcity has a way of making every opportunity more valuable. Guillermo's childhood became a study of contrast, limited access to digital tools, but unlimited curiosity for what they could unlock. His father, an engineer who believed deeply in the future, took it upon himself to introduce his family to technology. At the age of 7, Guillermo's life shifted forever. His father brought home their first computer, a decision that marked the beginning of a transformative journey. The day that machine powered up with Windows 95 left a mark on Guillermo's memory. The glow of the screen, the unfamiliar yet exciting world of icons, menus, and possibilities. This was not just a piece of hardware, it was the opening to a universe. That moment planted the seeds of fascination with computing, sparking the curiosity that would define the rest of his life. As Guillermo grew, so did his appetite for understanding how computers worked. His curiosity soon led him beyond Windows into the complexities of alternative operating systems. One turning point came when he encountered Linux. At first it was overwhelming, cryptic commands, unfamiliar interfaces, and none of the hand-holding that other operating systems offered. But in that complexity, Guillermo saw possibility. Learning to navigate Linux taught him resilience and gave him a glimpse into the power of software that was open, free, and customizable. Soon, programming itself became his passion. The act of opening a terminal, writing a file, and seeing it transform into binary results captivated him. The setbacks were numerous: errors, bugs, crashes, but it was the triumphs that left a lasting impression. One of his favorite moments was watching a test pass successfully, as the screen filled with cascading green dots. Those dots weren't just symbols, they were victories, each one proof that he could make a machine obey logic he had written. Even in failures, Guillermo found beauty. Each challenge became an invitation to go deeper, and each small success reaffirmed his love for coding. He wasn't just learning programming, he was becoming a developer in the truest sense. While building a music catalog website as a teenager, Guillermo faced a problem. He wanted a remove button that could delete entries without refreshing the page. His workaround was inventive. He used a hidden iframe to achieve the effect. This experimentation led him to MooTools, a JavaScript toolkit that approached problems in unconventional ways. MooTools didn't just solve his problem, it sparked his imagination. At just 16 years old, Guillermo became a core developer for MooTools, gaining recognition in the open source community. This early exposure to open source wasn't just about writing code, it was about responsibility, collaboration, and building tools that others would rely on. His growing reputation opened new doors. One of them led him across the world to Switzerland, where a startup invited him for consulting. Another MooTools developer had recommended him, and though he was still very young, he accepted. Upon arriving, he faced skepticism from the CEO, who openly questioned why such a young engineer had been appointed. But Guillermo didn't falter. He stood his ground, affirmed his abilities, and proved himself through his work. That trip marked one of his first big steps into the international tech scene. Pioneering innovation, LearnBoost in the EdTech chapter. In 2010, Guillermo co-founded LearnBoost, his first major startup. The idea was bold: revolutionize classroom management for educators with a digital gradebook. This wasn't just about software. It was about rethinking how education could be organized and delivered. From the start, Guillermo made a critical choice. LearnBoost would be built entirely on Node.js. At a time when most people doubted JavaScript for backend systems, Guillermo saw potential. Every line of code in LearnBoost was written in JavaScript, making it one of the first ambitious attempts to fully embrace Node.js for both front and backend. The journey was not easy. Early frameworks like Express were immature and full of challenges. But instead of retreating, Guillermo and his team pressed forward. They not only navigated the difficulties, but also contributed back to the open source ecosystem, ensuring that their learnings benefited the wider community. Open source became the guiding philosophy of LearnBoost. The company didn't just use community projects, they contributed to them, improved them, and shared their own tools. This commitment established Guillermo's identity as a true open source champion, someone who saw technology not as a closed resource, but as a shared foundation for collective progress. As LearnBoost grew, Guillermo's understanding of entrepreneurship deepened. He discovered that building for classrooms wasn't enough. His real passion lay in empowering individuals. This realization shaped his future ventures. He also learned the importance of sustainability in open source. By looking at examples like OpenSSL, Guillermo emphasized the need to fund and support critical projects that the internet depends on. There were setbacks too, rejections from investors and customers, emotional hurdles of building something without a clear end, and the resistance from employees when bold shifts were required. Guillermo learned to let go of ideas that had reached their limits and pivot toward new possibilities. By 2013, LearnBoost rebranded as CloudUp, a file-sharing service that quickly attracted users. That same year, Automatic, the company behind WordPress, acquired CloudUp. With the acquisition came the end of LearnBoost, formally discontinued in November 2019. But Guillermo had already learned his lessons and was ready for the next big leap. In November 2015, Guillermo founded Zeit, a company with a bold mission: simplify cloud deployment and make the internet more accessible. Guillermo wanted to remove barriers for developers, enabling anyone to deploy applications with ease. His vision was clear: democratize development. The internet was too complex, and Guillermo wanted to build tools so that anyone, regardless of resources or background, could create and share their ideas online. In October 2016, Zeit launched Next.js, an open source framework for building server-rendered React applications. It became a game changer. Next.js simplified one of the hardest parts of modern development and quickly grew into one of the most popular frameworks in the world. By April 2020, Zeit rebranded as Vercel. Under Guillermo's leadership, Vercel shifted from simple hosting to powering the front-end revolution, tightly integrating Next.js into its platform. The company became the go-to solution for developers building modern web experiences. Vercel built a sustainable business model with multiple revenue streams: subscription plans, enterprise solutions, add-ons, and premium services. The company also offered professional training, consulting, and technical support. Guillermo emphasized a customer-first philosophy, building deep relationships and focusing on delivering delightful experiences. Today, Vercel serves clients across industries, including Airbnb, GitHub, Uber, Nike, McDonald's, and IBM. Investors took notice. In June 2021, Vercel closed at $2.5 billion by November that year. Before Vercel, Guillermo was already a recognized force in tech. He co-founded and served as CTO of both LearnBoost and CloudUp, ventures later acquired by Automatic. His contributions to Node.js were groundbreaking. He created several widely used libraries, including Socket.io, Mongoose, and Slacken, which remain pillars of the developer ecosystem. Even earlier, as a core developer of MooTools, Guillermo had been shaping the front-end web long before frameworks like React took over. Beyond building companies, Guillermo became an active investor. With 33 investments across multiple rounds, his portfolio reflects a sharp eye for promising startups in enterprise applications, high tech, and beyond. Notable investments include Perplexity, 11 Labs, and Magic. His global approach spans the US, Canada, and other regions, reflecting his belief that innovation is not bound by geography. Recent investments include a Series A round in Jam, as well as rounds in Dexa, Perplexity, and Ingest. showing his continued commitment to disruptive technologies. Some of the companies where Guillermo has invested include Hero Information Services, B2C, Polar Signals, Business, Productivity, Software, Jam Internet Software, Dexa Application Software, Ingest Business/Productivity Software, Tab AI Electronics, B2C, Stainless Software Development Applications, ZEP Software Development Applications, VoLT Technology Software Development Applications, Perplexity Business/Productivity Software, PartyKit Platform for AI, Agent Collaboration, Popsicle Editor for Team Collaboration, Windsor Manufacturing of Plastic Processing Machinery, Airplane Aircraft Manufacturer, Clearbit, HubSpot Native Data Provider, Text Unified Messaging across major platforms. Guillermo Rauch's life story is not just about building companies. It is about resilience, open source values, and a relentless drive to empower others. From a young boy in Argentina discovering Windows 95 to becoming the CEO of Vercel, creator of Next.js, an investor in dozens of global startups, his journey reflects the transformation of the internet itself. He has shown that innovation is not reserved for those born in tech capitals. It can begin anywhere, even in a small Argentinian town where one computer ignited the imagination of a boy who would one day help redefine the future of the web.